Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about experiences that I've been having at work. I changed 3 jobs in the past year and it's been like a ridiculous ride. But before we get into it, I want to say that Babe's actually in the next room over. He's watching some sports right now, but he passed his CDL exam. Yo, he has Class A CDL license and he is passed his exam. So if you guys, like, I know it's like really a popular job right now, a lot of females, a lot of males, a lot of like everybody interested in it, and he knows exactly the steps to, like, you know, to take and stuff like that, like what exactly you need to do, how much it costs and stuff like that. So if you want a video, let us know and I'll ask him to record it. So let me know, because, you know, why not? And also, by the way, so today I did eyebrow tinting for the first time, and in the salon. Usually, like, I would do it on myself and see like the shape is a little bit different, but I'm kind of feeling it. I will like probably fill it in like tonight when we go out, but I do like it. I do like it. I do like it. But let me talk about this job situation that I've been having. So last job that I've had, I'm gonna start like I'm gonna make it like in little stories. So the first story is gonna be today, next story is gonna be another day. Okay, so the first one, why I had to leave the job, right? So I used to work in a real estate firm. I was doing accounting and finance, and I was like hired, everything was good. I'm like, you know, if things are going good, everything is good. So I actually started with them through COVID. They were requiring the COVID vaccine and the boosters and everything, that was fine, because like a lot of people asked too, like, you know, if how the jobs were and how the jobs still are. Actually, my current job asked for COVID and boosters, like confirmations, before I got hired, and I've been working with them for 2 months now, but we're gonna get to it. Okay, so why, like, what happened? Because I just want you to like know like how managers and how like companies might treat you, or like might go about certain situations. So I want you to be prepared and like know how to act and react in certain situations. So this is what happened, right? So I got hired throughout the when COVID started in 2020. And then we were all always remote for like a whole year, remotely working from home. Everything was good. Then we were coming back to office like 3 days a week in the office, right? So everything was fine. I'm having like, you know, my responsibilities, and like everybody else have their own. And all of a sudden, our AP clerk, like a person who like enters invoices to pay, he is getting a great offer in a different firm. And he was like, he goes to, you know, director, and he was like, well, I got an offer, so if you like to match it, or if you like, you know, give me some type of increase, or like, and stuff like that, so like some type of incentive to stay. And the director said no. He said no. He's like, I'm sorry, that's a little bit out of our, you know, pay grade. Like, they can't afford it. I was like, okay. So, oh my God. The person is put in 2 weeks in, like the guy was put in 2 weeks in, and they are trying to delegate. Well, all of a sudden we start having a meeting, and they decide that they're not going to hire a new person, right? And they are trying to delegate all his responsibilities among everybody else. And everybody, of course, like, come on, like, what the hell? Like, you hired a whole person to do something, and now you just wanna like brush it off and not like, where is the incentive to other people, right? So the majority of his work was AP, which is entering invoices into the system so it can be processed, blah, 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 blah. If anybody here like familiar with accounting, you would know like what I'm talking about. But basically it's like it's an entry-level accounting position, but it's very, you know, important. It is time consuming and it's kind of like repetitive. Like once you know the system, it's like, you know, the same thing like kind of every day. Like you don't have to think much, you just upload invoices, but it's very vital because, you know, you have to pay your vendors, you have to pay for everything. So basically that was the majority of his work. It's very time consuming, it's very like very just time consuming, like that's like the biggest thing, right? And like all the other his responsibilities were like very little, so we were able to spread it like among the whole accounting team, and like everything was fine, right? Tell me why. A few days later, the director, who decided like let the guy know and like give him like not even give him like no counter offer, like not try to like make him stay, because actually the guy who was leaving, the AP clerk, he like introduced and implemented so many systems in my job that was like so weird. I'm like, why would you even let this person go? First of all, he knows so much. Second of all, he just implemented a new system that everybody needs a training on, but he is leaving in 2 weeks. So like it's so much going on, and they're not trying to like hold on to people. Like they're not very, you know, like I feel like for a great employer, you need to be able to like, you need to take care of your employees. You need to value them. You need to pay them well. You need to be understanding. You need to like just be like very relatable and community based. Like I want to feel like I'm part of something when I'm working for somebody, because it just makes me feel like I'm part of a mission and not just somebody disposable. Like that's how I feel, because it's like, you know, not everybody is entrepreneur from the very get-go, right? Some people like they don't know what's like in my case, I never knew like who I wanted to be or like what I wanted to do, right? So I started like, I was very good with math. So my mom was like, do accounting, do finance and blah, blah, blah. And so now it's like, it's great, but it doesn't have as much potential as I want to realize, you know, for myself in life. So I'm like, okay, it's great opportunity to like pay my bills and stuff like that and take care and invest in like into something that I want to be working on for like for real, right? So, but still, when you work, like when you know, you still spend like a lot of the time out of the week in even if it's a 9 to 5 in that type of environment. So you want to be like, feel like a part of a family. That's what I was trying to say, right? Sorry. I'm like all the way somewhere else, right? But so, yeah, and so the guy was leaving, and in two weeks he was leaving. So tell me why my director comes to me and he was like, Marina, so you know how, you know, this person is leaving, he's leaving in 2 weeks, and he just implemented a new system and we want you to take over. I'm like, how much? I'm like, how much are we talking? Like, what? Okay, that's good. How much and for how long? Because first of all, not only I'm stepping down from my, you know, there's like level in like every, like, you know, in every career there's levels, right? So I work my ass off to get like to a high positions, right? So now, like, it's not very favorable for somebody to go like down. Like if you help out, of course, that's not a problem at all. But it's like, you don't want completely be doing something, because then it's like not very good opportunity for further growth and like for further opportunities in other companies. Because like on the paper, it would say you one position, and then you go over and you're like, oh, but that's what I was doing. And they're like, it doesn't match, right? Okay, anyway, so he comes up to me, he was like, we would like you to take it over. And I'm like, okay, how much? And for how long? And guess what? He said, we are not going to pay you extra, because there's certain properties that you are taking care of. They might be selling in the near future. So, you know, the marketplace is very hectic place, right? So you cannot rely on a maybe, and you never know when maybe comes. And while the maybe gonna come, you still have to do all the accounting processes on a monthly basis for the property. So imagine me having my whole job with all my responsibilities, and now they want to give me to do the job of the person that took 75% of his responsibilities, right? And they're like, here you go, like you gotta figure it out, right? And I'm like, okay, so no, we can't do that. And then I'm like, okay, so how much you gonna pay me? No, we're not gonna pay you. And I'm like, well, I can't do it because this is not what I was hired to do. You know what he said? He said, but it's a teamwork. Like, we expect you to, teamwork. And I'm like, well, so why don't you do it? If it's a teamwork, why me? Like, I don't understand, right? And so we actually, it was so funny because they waited, and it was like also like very unprofessional and stuff like that. So they waited. So a person who was responsible for all these responsibilities, he was given his two-week notice. A week in, they calling me and trying to have me to take all the responsibilities, like, while only 1 week left of him being there. Like, so I have to understand a whole new system of like how to do things. I have to do this and do my responsibilities and not getting paid extra. Like, what are we talking about, right? So a week in, I get a call because my director decides to go on a vacation. Perfect timing, right? Like, everything is collapsing. He decided to go on vacation. Cool, whatever. So he goes on vacation a weekend. He tries to talk to me right before he goes on vacation. Then he calls me during the vacation. He was like, well, I proposed to you what I would like you to be doing, and I would still like you to take it on, and I want you to start as soon as possible. So apparently he didn't get an idea that I'm not doing it. So we were literally on the phone. Imagine he's on vacation. He went somewhere like in Florida, right? He's like over there, like trying to go on his like trips, trying to go to the beach and stuff like that. We're on the phone. He's getting frustrated. But I'm like, I'm not about to say yes because you're trying to bully me into saying like, oh, like, Marina, this is a teamwork. You're supposed to be helping. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, I would love to help, but, and they were saying like, for at least a year to a year and a half. Like, what type of dumb person would take a whole, like, almost a whole, like, job of another person, put it on themselves as another responsibilities besides all the responsibilities he has already or she has already, and not getting paid for it, and be stuck over there for like a year to a year and a half. So I'm like standing my ground. I'm like, no way. I'm sorry. Like, with all due respect, like, I'm not going to take on those responsibilities. We're really on the phone. He's getting heated. He's getting frustrated. You know what he tells me in the end? He tells me, oh, I'm gonna tell the owners that you are not doing your job. And then he hangs up on me. Do you understand? So I'm like, and it's like, I think it was like 10 a.m. in the morning too. It was like early call. And I'm like over here sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? So I'm texting all my girlfriends like that I have at work, and I'm like, can you imagine what happened? They all coming into my office. We're like discussing this whole thing. I'm like, can you imagine? They're like, no, he didn't. I'm like, can you imagine? Like, what is going on right now? So I'm having an anxiety attack. I'm like, what the, like, he's about to go call the owner, tell him that I'm like such a bad employee. They're gonna fire me. So you know what? Let me update my resume real fast and put it up on the websites and just, be covered. So I did everything the same day. I put it out. Guess what? The next freaking day, I got the next day I got 7 interviews. The day after I got 5 more. It was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And I'm over here like, oh my God. So the director comes back from his vacation, and we acting like everything is good. Apparently they decided to put somebody else in charge of this responsibility, and everything was going smooth again. Like everybody was acting like nothing happened, and it was so weird. But I was already out there. Like my resume was already out there. I was already like, you know what? I'm not about to be sitting here being bullied into doing something that I have no incentive or to do, while I can get better job, better location, better pay out there. And that was approved, because like I was like, oh, I'm not sure, la la la, blah blah blah, and I didn't want to like be jumping back and forth like to many jobs. But at the same time, I was like, you're not gonna do that. And once I started getting all these interviews, oh my God, I got an offer in a week and a half after that. Literally, I got an offer, was much more, and it was literally like a week and a half later. It was so crazy because guess what? I'm going to the director and I'm like, I just want to let you know that I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in. He was like, what? Why? What's happening? Like, why would you do that? Like, what happened? And I'm like, well, you know, this situation happened, so I wasn't sure like how it would go. So I decided to, just in case, you know, put my resume out there. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about what happened. Like, I understand. It was just never was supposed to happen, but this is what happened. Like, he gave me a whole speech on like, you know, what happened. And I was like, I wasn't mad at all, because I'm like, and it was like, everything was like much closer to me. Everything was like more benefits, like more pay, like everything. So I was like, what am I doing here? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, no matter what you say right now, you either matching what I'm giving you or you're not. And they couldn't match it. So I was like, well, I gotta go. Bye. You know? So it was, oh my God, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. But he was like really apologetic. But he did offer me like a referral letter if I ever need one. It was really nice of him. And at the my last day, I think it was like Thursday, my girlfriends from work, they took me out for drinks, and the director, he gave us money to buy drinks. Like it was on him. I think he gave us like $100 or like $200. I think it was like $150. Yeah, I think it was like $150, $160. And he was like, just drinks on me. I was like, and then he was like, oh, you guys not inviting me? It's like so weird, right? You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so this is what happened. And I was just saying that to say that, like, never feel like you are, like, if you feel undervalued, if you feel like you can do better, if you feel uncomfortable in your job, that's not the end. Like, literally put your resume together, put it out there, and I'm telling you, you're going to get an offer, get a company that you're going to deserve and you're going to love and stuff like that. So don't settle. Literally, don't settle, and do make sure like you study the company that you are going for next, because you can't keep like jumping, because but then it does look a little suspicious on the resume after a while, because it's like, you're not consistent. So that's like a kind of red flag. But so you do want to like study the more, you want to study the company very thoroughly. You want to study the people very thoroughly, their LinkedIn and profiles, their like everything, like study about them. And but make sure that you do, that you just don't settle. That's all I'm saying. I just want to say that, because it was just like a crazy situation. And then like, I'm so happy I stood my grounds. And to this day, like me and the girlfriends from work, we're still cool. We're still like meeting out for drinks. We're still going like to each other's houses, like, having dinners together and stuff like that. So it's really like, it's to this day, we like remember that. And like some of them left too, actually, like a few weeks later after that. But it was really like interesting experience, and I'm really happy that I stood my ground because I did get a better offer. So don't ever feel like you just there for life, or like there is no way around stuff, or like there is no way out. Always a way out, don't worry. But anyway, so I just wanted to share my work experience. Like I've been like doing like a few things, so I don't know, you know, it might be helpful for you. Maybe you are struggling, like, you know, or you hate your job currently. So jump on your resume, put it together, put it out there, and go find your better job. You know what I mean? So don't sit there being miserable. That's all I'm here for. To share with you. But anyway, so I'm actually about to go to a gym, I think. Yes, I gotta go to a gym, and we're gonna go out tonight. So I gotta go do so much stuff. I'm actually dressed for the gym. It's like a little crazy, but actually, let me see. Oh no, where's dirty? I love these leggings. I haven't worn them in a while. But bye guys, thank you so much for watching.